Okay, while we're still waiting for that, talking in that similar vein, guys, let's quickly do this. I'm very sure we get to see George Ashiru, speaking about that. But if there's already an excuse in the bag about funding, what are we left with if government decides to say I have other problems?
Yeah, I think it boils down to the structure itself, and at the same time, the person relaying the message. There are times that government tends to complain about the fact that they don't get, the news about whether the organization needs funds at a particular point in time. Take for instance, it's sports like football. You need a lot of funding to actually for a calendar year. There's so many expenses that football actually incurs. So if the plans are not, the government didn't get those, the budget on time, then there's going to be a problem. And at the same time, you are talking about recession. Government are always, recently are complaining that there is no fund to actually, to use for the other associations.
Okay, we'll listen to Judge Ashiru now. He had things to say about funding, and I will be back for more on Sports Tonight.
The National High Performance Task Team was set up, supposedly funded by then President Goodluck Jonathan. The idea at the meeting that we had, that I'm a member of that committee at that time, was that we will start giving grants to each of the top federations that are likely to produce Olympic athletes. They will give us a list of some of the top athletes, and they will get a certain number of grants in US dollars per year. That will take care of all their needs. That was in the paper.
That was 2013.
But between 2013 and 2016, I don't think 80% of what was agreed was followed through. And I cannot say whether it was funding or maybe the frequent changes of ministers. I really can't say this is just one thing. But the idea is that good ideas were put forward. Foreign experts were brought in, and they were paid in US dollars. That means that there was a plan. But what happened between the National High Performance Task Team and the Rio is another story for researchers to research. But this is the mistake we cannot make for Tokyo. And I'm trying to be candid this time around, because as a victim of the unfortunate circumstances, I want to make sure that I keep repeating that we can't let it happen. At federation level, at the ministry level, at the National Assembly that approves and provides for these funds, this is not talk shop anymore. This is action. It's time for money to back plans.
All right, George Ashiru speaking his mind, saying that we cannot afford to make that mistake again. Before we look at our 2017 calendar, quickly let me ask you this. Well, we've been having people asking questions, from as high as the sports minister. Okay, you guys are always talking about money. You're always talking about money. You guys receive grants one way or the other. These grants, what do you do with them? Is it right to ask those questions?
Well, the international bodies give grants. Yeah. And sometimes, or most times, they attach a project to those grants. And these international bodies already have mechanism to monitor
what you do with those
what you do with the grants. So that's why they always, demand for a designated account that they can monitor. For instance, the FIFA Go project that the world governing body, bankrolled for, some federations, they monitor, they look at it, and if you are not carrying out the instruction to the letter, they have the internal mechanism. So I think for the minister, he should preoccupy himself more with sports development. What are you going to do with the grants? The international bodies have mechanisms, like I've said. If there is any need,
but it's not wrong to ask those questions.
Well, you can ask, but don't make. My problem is playing to the gallery, making a meal out of it. It has a way of distracting. It has a way of giving, negative impression that sports is riddled with corruption. And how do you get sponsors if every time you are talking about, corruption,
cheats,
you are always alleging that monies have been diverted? How do you attract sponsorship? How do you
attract the right people?
Attract the right people? So for me, this thing should be sorted out quietly, because we've had enough problems already. We are talking of funding. Then, if we still continue this way, nobody is going to support sports.
Okay. We hope that all of those issues will be sorted. Government will support, and corporate bodies as well.
And by the way, Yemi, I'm also aware that some federations have continually asked the ministry to tell them how much
It's due to them.
It's due to them annually, every year, so that when they have that,
plan on that.
they can plan, for additional, sponsorship.
Right. Okay, let's go on a quick break. We're on the home stretch, and we'll be back for more Sports Tonight. All right, welcome back. We're on the home stretch. Let's take a look at our 2017 sports calendar. Of course, it can't contain everything, but notable events that will happen in 2017. And hopefully, the administrators will prepare and ensure we don't have the kind of embarrassment that we had in 2016. Well, the NPFL season, subject to any change, should kick off January 14. Second Lagos City Marathon is going to be in February.
Absolutely.
That's heartwarming. Only CAF Confederations Cup and CAF Champions League, February 10th. Those matches will be played, involving 2 Nigerian teams each in those competitions. Then 2019 AFCON qualifiers will begin in March.
Yeah, very key. Very key.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be a disaster of monumental proportion if we don't qualify again for the third time in a row.
So we have to start preparing in just 2 months.
Yeah, I think it will be upon them.
So we are not on holiday at all.
Yeah. I think it's going to start immediately after the African Cup of Nations.
Yeah.
And the first phase and the second phase should kickstart around
Any
May.
mistake, you're out of it before you know.
Absolutely.
Okay. The 2018 CHAN, the draws for the qualifiers will be done on April 9.
Yeah.
And of course, the 2018 CHAN qualifiers, the first round will be in April.
Yeah.
So FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup to be held in Bahamas is going to be April, subject to any change. The CHAN qualifiers, second round in July. The AfroBasket, talking about the Under-16 Championship, hopefully Nigeria will be part of that one, will be in July. We don't know the day, but hopefully it will be in July. 2018 CHAN qualifiers, third round, hopefully we'll still be in it during that time. Well, Nigeria Open, that's taking up table tennis in Lagos, August 9 to 12, FIFA World Cup qualifier. I think there's a mix-up on our part here. It's the other way around. Nigeria takes on Cameroon, August, and of course, AfroBasket for men is going to be in August as well in Congo, Brazzaville. And we also hear that because we didn't qualify for the last 2 editions, we're likely going to play the first round of the qualifiers for the Nations Cup. So we have to start preparing FIFA World Cup qualifier, AfroBasket, and well, these are the things. Hopefully we have more time tomorrow to take a look at all of these things. So we'll do this again tomorrow. We want to say thank you to you in the spirit of the new year. We hope that you enjoy the holidays and be back for work tomorrow. We'll do this again tomorrow. Bye-bye now.